Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Hope you're having a great day. So today we have another replay code from a Gold and a player that asked us for our advice, what we want to correct here. So we already reviewed this player once. We gave him a simple task: nade the enemy tank as soon as your team all-ins on this tank. So you have like your time synchronized, your position synchronized to hit the fed nade on the enemy target right when your team starts to push the target. It was the last task, was the last start of training, and now we see how the player progressed and now what tips we can give him to continue forward from here. Okay, let's go. So the player we are viewing is called Tracy, or Anna here on F10, and let's see what happens here. So we speed up until the first engage. So we see the Anna follows the tank, which I think is correct for the start, but then right before we engage the fight, she actually turns around and walks here to the left side. Maybe because of teammates, maybe because Anna knows the map. But what we see here is that the first kill is done before our Anna is even in position to do anything here. Okay, and that is just a general tip. It's not like have a plan before you leave spawn door and execute your plan. Like you see, walking from spawn and then turning to the left just costs time. You are now behind your team, basically. But of course, you also need to experiment with things. But a little bit easier if you decide on what you want to train before. Like you watch your own review and think, oh, what happens if I start the game on the left side instead of center, or the right side instead of center, and then you walk from spawn, but then you walk directly to the left side into save 1 or 2 seconds, and this 1 or 2 seconds is then you are 1 or 2 seconds earlier on the game. So that is important. This 1 or 2 seconds on the first fight really are important. So just walk out of spawn with a plan. Try to not train chaotically, but if you want to train positions, like just define them in your watch reviews, which position on which map you want to test to go next time. Like it's healthy to experiment, but you kind of cannot experiment correctly on this point because you're too late on this point. So the point already lost the value because you were too late. Okay. But in general, we see that this area in general provides us what we kinda need. Like we have a vision on where our tank attacks. We have can establish vision on our teammates, which are a little bit to the left. To heal them, we have sideline to the enemies, which we can damage, and we can land our nade, which was our goal. And we also have cover from enemies, which we can take easily, left or right side. It would be better if this enemy would be a little bit closer to one of the sides, a little bit closer to cover. And we have the forward ledge to actually... so we have this cover on the left and right side, which we would then try to hug. So ideally, this wall, for example, would be now rather here. So this part of the view would be blocked, because then nothing from this view could shoot at us. And we have here then like a shooting lane with the stuff down there. Alternatively, you could align this left side wall, would also totally work. Okay, and additionally we have this cover on the bottom side, this ledge. So we could also take 1 or 2 steps back. So this cover would be maybe up here. So basically then our viewing window would be more or less like this one would be now our viewing window. This would be in the center, and here would so this is what we would, yeah, the part of the screen which we would use, so that the other part is covered and we just have more cover from enemy spam. Like maybe the widow hooks now up, maybe an Ashe shoots, and then it's just harder for them to find an angle on us instantly before we shoot. Of course, as soon as we start shooting, especially scoped, the enemies will see our cover. But for now, the enemies do not know where we are, and we totally do not abuse the fact. Additionally, I have to say to this position in general, sorry, I need to press the buttons. Additionally, I would have loved if the enemy would have actually went to here. So same principle, you have the right side wall, you have the ledge on the bottom, but you have a little bit easier access on the security or on the soldier, and you also have a little bit more support from them. So if you get dived by a Genji here, Genji dashes straight into your face here. These guys turn around to help you, but they see a wall. Soldier tries to help you, but he sees a wall. So being here on the left side, just a micro thing would help you a little bit more from positioning wise. Okay, so just for this position. I know it's talked already a lot. So for this player Tracy, I would say, well, first be faster. And second, yeah, well, use your cover a little bit more. Like, don't need to be up front here, be a little bit on the back, and decide which cover to use. So maybe here would be a good position. Or if you want a little bit better optimized for your teammates, a little bit more here. Just one step back, but same angle. And that's the important thing. Right, we need this angle to land the anti-nade, right? So this angle is important. But this angle is the same if you stand here. You hit the same anti-nade as if you stand here. It's the same angle, and that's the important thing. And you can freely choose the distance and this minor things like left or right. You can choose, like, shoot from here, shoot from here. You can alternate very fast and very easy. But I would prefer from here, basically. The question is just, of course, it's now. I think it's clear for this specific window. But how do you apply it now in general terms? Like, in general terms, it's a little bit easier because what's your job? Heal teammates, damage enemies, land your anti-nade. So from value perspective, every position which will allow you to hit this nade would be the same value considering your anti-nade. So this position, I don't know, this is maybe too far away. Yeah, this is not optimal anymore, so it's a little bit worse, but it would still kind of work. Maybe this position would kind of work so far, just for anti-nade. So you have freedom to optimize further. And then your further optimizations is, well, easier shots on your teammates. Like, bam, easy heal on the Kiriko, right? So it's a little bit more value. So just that you heal, see a little bit more of what you want to see, basically. Okay, let's see how it evolves. So we scope, we land a nade like we wanted, perfect. So training goal fulfilled, we land our nade, awesome. We shoot like this shot I would have preferred on the Sigma. And this is a principle I would also like to explain, just to keep in mind. Let me try to check my settings. Sorry, should have done that before starting the video. 5 seconds. Let's go back, 5 seconds. So now everyone is full, we don't need to heal, so we shoot. Now Sigma gets hooked, we throw a nade. And now Sigma lost his energy part. But he's using his suck ability, but he does not get any shield. So basically I would have preferred to land one more hit here on this Sigma. Especially if this would be a tank with armor. It would be even more important to fill up this armor. Yeah, but not so important. So it's just that if he would eat more headshots now, if more people would shoot at him right at this moment, he would roll over and die. And now what happens is that you see your Sigma is pressured, but because you are in this window, the only option now is to basically drop to continue healing, or it's getting very awkward. And that way this option position up here would have provided you just more options than this window. So because then you can use the ledge as cover, and you can even rotate even further somewhere here to the left side, so you can block a little bit more even, kind of, depending on how it evolves, of course. Okay, but now you rotate. You could have had this position earlier. Continue to heal. We have our nade again. Blocked by Mei. We do not want to comment now on the sleep dart. Also not too much more on what to heal, what to damage and so on. So it's like a very spammy situation. So what I want to add here is that this Lucio doesn't do too much. Ignore this Lucio. Like, you can hit the same nade on the ground if you continue to stay here, or even continue to the left side cover here, and then continue to heal your Sigma. You don't need to try to land shots on this Lucio, because now, what happens now is that both your supports, you and Kiriko, are both trying to hit the Lucio. And Lucio, as a elusive little frog with speed boost, is of course kind of hard to hit, honestly. And you see now your Sigma is so critical that you even heal Sigma while the Bastion is shooting with full force on your side, which you could have of course slapped. But things like Genji, like Lucio, if they dive into you, if they get close, just land your nade on the ground, so you hit yourself and the diving enemy, if it's only one, and you're good to go, especially if you have a teammate next to you. And then with that, just run to your teammates, instead of running away from your teammates, just run to your team, and that's basically enough of a counter. You don't need to start actively aiming, don't need to start actively shooting, continue on healing, don't get distracted. Make a very big rotation. Can't understand why, don't not comment too much on that one. Try to find our position back with the tank. And here now, I can use this position to explain a concept that you can just, a general rule you can apply to a game. So, your Sigma is now playing up here. Basically what happens is that your Sigma plays either this corner or this corner. And this is basically the defending line he has. And this means for you that you want... Oh, of course if I fly away, I cannot... this one. How do I do it? Kinda like to see it from top, but without the bridge thingy. I fly up enough. Nah, let's find a better angle from where I can explain. Yeah, so maybe let's take a look at this situation, right? So again, your Sigma has this corner or this corner, and he holds this line in front of him. This is his like shooting window. This is where he shoots through what he contests. And you always take this line where he defends, like where his feet end basically. Then you define which angle you want depending on this line. So you want to have a shooting line on this hawk, which means your line is somewhere in this area, right? So you can position anywhere in this blue triangle to hit this nade through your tank. Like if you go to the left side of this, if you would go here to further on the left side, like you would be shot by the enemies, right? You cannot go there. And if you go here further to the right side or here to the right side, then you cannot see the hawk behind this cover. Then you basically cannot see the roadhog, you cannot land your nade, you cannot do your mission anymore. Like you want to land your anti-nade on the hawk. So what do? In this blue triangle, you find the cover, ideally one behind your tank. So in this case, you have only as cover options basically either this edge, so you stand right here, so you can peek and shoot, or you use this cover, and again, you can peek and shoot from here. But that doesn't mean that you need to stay close to this cover. If you stay here and peek and shoot, it's roughly the same. Or if you stand here and shoot, it's still the same angle, right? But if you stay at this edge, you have the additional benefit of blocking the line of sight to the side. So if someone then... if you basically then stand here, so not front here, but back here, rather. I know, I cleared everything. That was the wrong button. Ah, I have an undo button. Perfect. I wanted to erase this line because this one was misleading. So if the enemy stands, basically slides up into this red region and shoots from here, then he cannot see you when you're here. So it's hard for the enemy to find an angle. The enemy would need to rotate all the way around. So you are safe behind the wall, and you still have the same angle as your Sigma. Okay? And that was basically, I would give you as a rough principle. So if your Sigma is contesting this front edge, you go one edge further behind, which would be here. And this is already usable, but because this is such a small space, I would go back to here. And it's like just a rule of thumb, like take the cover one back behind your tank, except if you have a good reason not to. Like if a Widow snipes, if Blackred has a flank or whatever, you have a reason to be somewhere else, and then be somewhere else. But if you don't have a good reason to be somewhere else, use this as general guideline. And you can train this so well that if you come home at Saturday night drunk at 3 AM, don't get drunk. Drinking is bad for your training. But if for whatever reason you are drunk, you are bad human, so be it. Who am I to judge? And then you start playing Overwatch, and then without thinking, you just go behind this back cover. Like, if your brain's totally smashed, you cannot think anymore, you automatically assume this position, because you just always play this position, you cannot do anything else, right? And this is how much you want to train this type of stuff. Like, this should be just, your default. Like, you're somewhere on the map now as default, and just change this default to be somewhere behind the second corner, okay? And I think this will be the principle for the rest of the day. Clear screen, yes. Okay, let's continue. I need to change my pen, and then I need to change to my game, and then we can continue. So, and of course I said tank in the beginning, but it's not really about the tank, it's about who's aggressive in your team. So now, your Kiriko is aggressive. So your Kiriko is up front on this edge in a second. So you would take one edge further back, but there is no edge further back, of course. So here you have, well, it's a little bit scuffed, there is just no edge anymore. So be it. Your Kiriko's up front, so your Kiriko plays this edge, but she overextended, she's behind the enemy. So let's pretend your soldier would play this corner or even this corner, and now you want to hit find a position where to land the nade together with your soldier on E. So you go one corner for the back, which then you can use the robot as corner. So you have this, so you can fight here with your soldier on, but you are one corner further back. Or you can say your soldier is aggressing. So your soldier is aggressing on this angle. He will probably run forward to here and then use this one as cover. So he will maybe post up here, look from here. So you will go one corner further back, same angle, which will be back here. Okay, so this is now a little bit too far back, so it will be hard to land an anti-nade from here. But you know you need to do compromises. It's just like... I don't want to be too harsh and too critical on this rule. Like, maybe it's here, maybe it's this car, maybe it's this shop. Like if it's a Widow, then you cannot be in the same line of sight. Then you need to be further on the side, like Widow Ashe Hanzo. Then you need to close the angle. If it's like Junkrat Reaper, then you can be close, because then they will get poked out. Like, they come from here, they get shot by soldiers, they cannot continue to progress, right? So you can be just wherever. Really, you can stand in your soldier's face. Like, there are variations. It doesn't matter too much. It's just your automatic response should be like, okay, tank is here. Like, pretend a team would be behind this tank. So the tank is playing roughly this area or this corners here. So you go one corner further back, which would be then here maybe. Or from here, you know? That if enemies go from this tunnel, they run to your nade, you have the same corner as your tank. Okay? But here we made the mistake that we thought that our tank would be tanking something. But in reality, our entire team is in front of the tank. So this angle is now too passive. Like, you are basically AFK. Like, whatever a soldier is shooting, you are not helping him. Whatever a Kiriko is shooting, you're not helping them. Like, look at the health of Lucio. Imagine you would have the same angle as your soldier, like from here, and snipe on the Lucio. Yeah, Lucio would be a free kill. So don't orient on your tank, orient on your aggressive teammates. So either here, or either this. So you have to decide on one. I would say in this case close to the robot. You know, Kiriko has her own plans, it's very unusual, and Kiriko has teleport, so if you go to the details, I would say with a soldier. But in reality, pick one side and go with it for now. Like, you're not Grandmaster, you're Gold, so it's good enough. Just pick one side. Just don't be AFK with a Sigma. Sigma is pushing the robot, you don't need to push the robot. Like, don't be with your AFK tank. Go and help your soldier on. Because again, realistically, imagine this entire game would have played out while you are here. Scroll back 5 seconds, we are still in this position. Like, Bastion getting hit, Lucio getting hit could have been a free kill. Soldier E going down, maybe could have landed a nade on your on the Mercy. Could have shot on the Lucio, on Mercy, on Bastion. Could have slapped the Bastion. Look how still he is in this small door. And you are completely safe. Like, what? Like look again. Who could have shot at you? Lucio? Bastion across this distance? Mercy? Like, what are they going to do? Are they going to hook you from here, or you're completely safe? Why? Because you have the aggressive angle, but you have the distance. If they had snipers, you would close the angle a little bit and play a little bit closer, like small variations. But this is like if they would have snipers, you would play maybe this corner. Because your team is here. Then you could still support your team. Or maybe this corner, which is like a compromise. You have a small angle if they get close, and you have a view on your healer, and if they have only close range, you play this corner. Like small variations. But here you are just dead weight together with a Sigma. And now let's see what happens. Now you don't have a corner at all. They just pushed your soldier on. Why did they push the soldier? Because he was alone. Why? Because your entire team just is AFK. Alright? Realistically, you and your tank have done nothing to contribute to this. Of course you could say, oh, my stupid bronze teammates are throwing the game, what can I do? Well, but you clearly could have done things. Yeah, like, this bike has a better angle than you have. Like, what are they going to do? Shoot you? With what? Yeah, maybe if they hook, so you can peek shoot, you can, like it's hard to hit, and you know, you have options. You could have stepped one, you could have naded the entire team, you could have naded the entire enemy team and your soldier together. Let's imagine a nade would hit here, like how big it would be. Like Lucio would die, they all anti-naded, your soldier lives to 1 second longer. You know, the good stuff. But instead, well, you can do exactly nothing. Well, your nade hits, but it's too late. Why? Because your angle did not allow you to see it in time. Like, this angle just ruined your play. It was too late. It was a correct action, but it was too late on a too passive angle. Why? Because you're oriented on your tank and not on your aggressive teammates. And the thing is, if you have a teammate aggressing forwards, they're not going to ignore the soldier and shoot you in the back. A maze, a close range hero, she's not going to just shoot past your soldier into your face. Like, well, maybe if you're exactly in the same line of sight, but you have even a slight, like a 10-degree variation, and there's a little bit of cover. So you close of May, you see an edge of Bastion, or you see the Roadhog. Then you know they already cannot push past soldier because they take damage. They don't want to. So who's aggressing? Yeah, well, kind of your entire team. But where is your corner? Like, let's say you play. Wait, does she have a health bar? I thought she's dead. Like, let's say your soldier is playing this corners, right? So you go back to the next corner behind, which is this car. Okay, then you can play this corner. Or you can say you play this corner. Or you can play this corner. Every corner would be fine. Like every position would have its pros and downsides. I personally would still play this corner. Like, if you would have positioned here at the start, you could have stayed here for half a minute without moving. Like, this is the lazy man's choice. Because they don't have snipers. They don't have soldiers, they don't have Ashe. Like, what are they going to do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But of course, you can go for the aggressive car play with Kiriko. You can go for the play with soldier to deny the Mei. You can play, don't know, passive payload pushing and shoot at the Hawk. But here you are just in the open. Right? If you look at this from top. Look at this from top. What is your cover? Green is my color. Here is your cover. Here is your cover. This car is your cover. Here's your cover. So, and if you now draw a circle, so it just hits all the covers, the position, you will notice you are right in the center. You are the furthest possible away from all cover. Like, you cannot position worse. Basically speaking. You're literally the furthest away from every safe spot. Like you cannot make it worse. Pick any cover, really anything. Even if it's a slim tree. I know Anna is not so thin. Anna is too fat to hide behind the tree. It's a sad reality. She's an old lady. It's okay. She can be as fat as she wants. But it's better than this, what you're doing right now. Because you're literally... Yeah, well, you're studying something with mathematics, right? You know enough about geometry that this is, well, the dead center of, well, nowhere. So take any cover. So again, so just to draw it once more. So you can pretend this is cover. Or so this is roughly the cover your teammates are playing, right? Somewhere here. So you take one step back to the next cover behind and take this, or this, or this as cover. Because it's just one step back. So depending on the angle that you want to take. So you can decide on this angle, you can decide on this angle, you can decide on this angle, you can decide from this door, would also be possible from this angle. Even though this door would block now with the robot stuff. You can decide this angle or this angle. Everything is possible. Oh, they're all the same quality for you now. Decide on any of these angles and place the cover on this angle. Okay. Let's go. Continue. Sorry, I have a little bit problem with my epic pen. I'm just not good enough to use it. I will train. I'm sorry. See, anti-nade hits, but where is your teammate in front of you? There is none. You are too far in the front. Get back. Here's your teammate. Now his teammate is holding this. I have no idea why your teammate is so passive now, but that's not your decision. You don't decide where your tank engages. Your tank decides when to engage and where to engage. You go behind the cover. So now I would say... now it's a little bit problematic because Sigma is starting to play this cover, so this is now a little bit closer. Maybe you need to rotate even further back so you are prepared to fall back, right? But from here you can heal your Sigma at least. You can maybe... Well, you need to overextend. So from this, realistically, you should rotate back to here. But you need to make compromise. So here you can't see enemies, and here you can't see teammates, and here you are far too close. So this is a little bit scuffed now. Well, you can't have it all. So now, what happened? The enemy is diving your team, okay? So what is your aggressive teammate now? Right? Because now you don't have a clear front line anymore. You have an enemy in your team, in the center of your team. So where do you position? In this case, it does not matter too much. Because now it's not about positioning anymore. Now it's just to focus fire the Mei in your team. Because this is now an easy target for your team. So you just group up, basically. So you just give up angles on this area and just close this angle. So and then you fight this one, basically. So if an enemy dives your team, it can be Genji, it can be Tracer, you don't know. You close the angles to the front line, and then you start helping your team. It's important that you do not, like if you have been aggressing here, do not just rotate and stay open to this angle, but you really close this angle, so you cannot get sniped anymore, and then you deal with whatever is here. Because you don't have a clear front line with enemy in the center. Enemy has been dealt with, and now you orientate again. Where is your aggressive team? Here, right? So this angle is played, I would say. So realistically, this all should not be in the open of the road, like same mistake like you did. He's in the center of all cover, center of the road, where furthest away from all cover. He should play a corner, either this corner or this corner. That's what soldier should play. And you play the one corner further back, so maybe the robot, maybe the car, maybe the tree, maybe this one. Here you have been a little bit careful because your front line is now not very well defined. Why? Because you now can get two front lines. So you can get enemies from here, which would be one front line, and you can get enemies from here, which is like second front line. So it's now not very clear where they appear. So in this case, you can also really just go here and wait. So you're open to one thing, but you need to be very passive here. Like, do not be aggressive because you don't have teammates in front of you. So this is, again, this situation where you just have to decide for something and go with it. But realistically, just close one corner and be open to the other, basically. Yeah, so this is a good position now. Try it from the right side. But, again, your tank is AFK. This is your tank now. So if you go up. I kind of wish it would be faster. So look at where your soldier is playing, right? The soldier is holding now this line, or this corner, however you want to define it. This corner, and of course this corner, but usually there are no enemies. So basically, your line of aggression would be then somewhere here. Right? So basically, this entire area here in the center is giving you angles on whatever you want to shoot. Basically, this entire area in the center, which means that you can position. Yeah. So if he is up front to the one corner for the back, so either play this bus station or this corner, so you can basically peek from here and look up here. Or basically then the left side and look up here. Again, you need to be a little bit careful because don't forget that here's also an opening that you need to be mindful of. So basically somewhere on this bus stop would give you cover from the right side, so it's not visible from here. So basically this area, then the bus stop, is the way to go here. And you see how far away you are, so you need to start rotate early realistically, otherwise you will be too late. Why do I not have a mouse? Now I have a mouse. Okay. So now your team rotated back. And now your position is not too bad, right? You're one corner back from your aggressing team. This is good. And now see what options you have. Like you can heal your entire team easily. You can land the anti-nade on the hawk. You can shoot something. Perfect. The problem is now your team is falling back. You need to fall back now. You cannot stay here. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Your team has retreated, you need to react to your team. You cannot decide to stand alone in the front. That is not a decision you are allowed to make. It's an illegal move. If police sees this, police comes and arrests you. This is illegal. SWAT team should come. Your team is falling back, you need to fall back with your team and need to do it in time. Just to be precise, when do you need to rotate back? Now. Don't rotate left, but your team scramble with your team. So now you should be here on this corner. It's a little bit too close, but you didn't have time to get a better position. Rotate further back, behind robot, or this corner. Rotate further back now behind car. And now you find roughly corners where you can start playing, but your team rotates even back further. So now your soldier is the aggressing part. So corner behind soldier will be roughly here. Or even now, for safety reasons, you could go even back here and close this entire cafe and just see the main road. Because you saw the entire team is here, so the right side is not very open. So this would be now realistically an angle you want to fall back to. Now, because you see your team is continuing falling back, and because you were too late, you don't see it in your screen that your team is falling back, and you're left alone in the front. And now your team wants to fall back further, but they can't, because you are out in the open. So you are basically suiciding your entire team now, because you were too late on your rotation. So always keep an eye on your teammates. What is my front line? Always ask, where is my front line? Position behind your front line. Where are you even? No teammates in front of you. Fall further back. Run, run, run. Find cover. Find cover. Behind your team. Here's your team is holding this bus. Then be behind the bus. Be the bus. Or even left here. You need to be careful, mindful of flankers here. True. But this would be a better position. Back here. But you are still staying at the front. Like, you're too slow in retreating. You're even progressing forward. Like, you're losing now this corner, this cover. But you are the front line. You don't want to be the front line. And that forces your team to use abilities to save you. Like, the soldier maybe didn't want to play this angle, but she's afraid if she leaves this angle, you would get killed. So she tries to die for you. And this kills your entire team. This entire team wipe is on you, because you didn't retreat.
We need to put a stop to their push.
Where is your front line? The front line is here. Play one angle further back, bus stop. Okay, you can shoot from here. You can shoot from here. You can heal your teammates. You can land an anti-nade. Shooting is a little bit awkward, but going here is a flank, an off angle. So this is something what soldier or Kree would play. The problem is you cannot heal your team. You do not know when they engage, when to land your anti-nade. Like, you cannot do your function correctly from here. Like, throw a nade on your hawk to get with the team. Good luck. You can't. Position doesn't work out. And you need to get don't need to be that creative with finding a position. Basic position is okay, but why run forward? Stay at corner. Stay at corner this. Stay at corner here. Don't care which corner, stay at corner. Why run forward? Just stay at corner. Again, yeah, good angle, but why run forward? Stay corner. This corner is fine. This corner is fine. Like, you don't need to be up front. Now, your team is somewhere here in the front, so you can close up. But of course, this fight was over, so it's... Of course, realistically, after you think you've won the team fight, if you watch the kill feed, if you think, oh, we have 1-2 kills, okay, if fights won, you can get a little bit more to the front. Because realistically, just taking up bodies is already too much for enemies to do damage. Is Zarya the aggressing part now? No, here is your aggressing part. Here is your teammate that needs support. Where are you? Like, Zarya is pushing the robotic, not the Zarya. The soldier is now the aggressing part. Help your soldier. Again, the same position as last time. Bus stop is your good position. You can see aggressing teammates, you can heal your soldier. Realistically, you can push up if you really want to hit something, because you have the long range and the enemies have to cross this entire area. So you could go up, but this is outside of the rule of thumb. Like, rule of thumb would be use cover behind your teammates, but now you have a good reason to be for the front. They don't have snipers, you know that. You can press tab when they spawn, so you can use this ledge, this horizontal cover and car and stuff, and poke them before they come close, because you know it works. So here you have a good reason to be for the front. Yeah. So good luck hitting your nade where your soldier throws her E. You can't. And the thing is, you are not safer here. Because realistically, you do not see what's there, so you don't know how many people are there, so they could flank anytime, you wouldn't know. So this position is not even more safe. It's just worse in every regard. This would be a better position now. Because then at least you see what's coming. In theory. Of course, practically no, but in theory, since you do not know if they switch to Widow and come here and shoot you from the side, it's basically an illegal position. Like you're open to the top, you're open to the side, you're open to everywhere. For a little bit of fake security, having distance to the enemies. But realistically, this Genji could have dived you at any moment, and you wouldn't see it before he's in your face. Yeah. So again, it would be okay, but just take cover inside. There's no reason to play out in the open, even if it's just a little bit. Like poke, heal, and then it's be back in cover. Heal, back in cover. Like even if it's just a little bit, it's a little bit better. Just tiny bit. Because again, you know, if I do the same thing again, you have cover here, you have cover here, you have cover here, you have cover here, and there's somewhere a door that goes inside. I don't know. Is this the door? I think cover here somewhere. And now, like, this is your circle and you're in the center. Furthest away from every cover. But again, now you need to react because your team is slightly falling back. Even though you have the advantage, it's better to stabilize and be safe. So realistically, your team... Sorry? Your team is now up here somewhere. So maybe your team plays this corner, maybe this corner, somewhere here's the line. So you go the next corner behind, which is then this corner. You know? So you would be back here where Kiriko is, basically. You can hit the Lucio, you can hit the Zarya. Well, you need to rotate out, which is awkward. But well, you need to make compromises. Like, not every time everything is perfect. Like, you need to make small compromises. That's just how it is. And then you maybe need to rotate outside of the road. But you know, if you want to use the cover, but you can't, you're not allowed to, it's visible in the watch review. So if you would be here, if you take this cover and you rotate out of the road to heal Zarya, everyone sees, okay, she's forced to, and realistically only Lucio can shoot you, so it's kind of okay. So it's, yeah, you would see it. If you would think about covers, you would see it. So now you have rather a situation where there is no clear front line, but you have rather enemies inside your team. You're encircling them. So again, just close covers to one side and shoot out whatever is there. So in this case, I would close this cover, shoot the Zarya, or close the Zarya and shoot the Moira. In this case, it's better because then you can also see your entire team. Which one of them both you hit, it doesn't matter too much. In theory, of course, Moira is a little bit better, but it's just, yeah, you know, doesn't matter too much. I'm an idiot, the Zarya is on your team. Sorry. I was confused because she was red. Now, your tank is far front, so now this is, I think, okay. That you push the payload, I think that's good because you have the range of, and you can support your entire team from this range, so that is fine. And you would rather allow your Kiriko to be a little bit up front, more closer to enemies. Realistically, if you wouldn't need to push the payload, of course, well, you would go up the stairs. It would have gone up the stairs before, and go to this corner, basically, and shoot from here, or then peek out aggressive from here, depending on when your Zarya rotates. If the Zarya falls back, you also need to fall back. But stay behind cover. Good angle, but stay behind cover. No reason to leave this cover. You see from this car, you have the same angle, but better position. Again, nice shots, but you could have done the same from car, from bus stop, from even inside here. Like any cover. Pick any cover. It really doesn't matter which one. Just pick any cover somewhere behind your front line. Define, always have a look where is the front line. Pick one cover behind. Again, except if they have a sniper, then you need to not have the same line of sight, but then you need to split line of sight so that the sniper see your tank, your front line, but don't see you. Like from here, you see now how awkward it would be to heal a soldier that's fighting the Pharah. So in this case, I would fall back because Pharah is like a sniper. She has all line of sight. But then falling a little bit back, closing the Pharah, but you see your entire team and you can poke on different enemies that don't have the long line of sight. It's an easier to play. Like, just see how much easier it would be to heal Yeah, well, you're taking damage yourself. So heal yourself, I guess. But imagine now trying to heal your soldier from this position. Like, this would be insanely impossible. This is insanely difficult. To stay here in the center and heal everything around you is insanely difficult. So fall back to the one corner back. But in this case, it might even be too close. So fall back one corner more, which would be then inside here. Or this slope, maybe. So in this case, I would fall back a little bit further. And again, I reiterate the same topic, just different examples for different situations. Just to get my point across. There will be no other points, so if you have understood the concept, you can turn off the video. It's done. I just repeat myself now over and over and over again. Just to showcase what my thought process would be about cover usage and positioning, basically. I really would stop running forward at some point. You did not respect the front line and the angles, and you died.
You'll have to try harder.
I could shoot, instead of pushing forward with W, you should have rotated to the side. I don't want to show it more. Because again, there's random situations. So these situations are a little bit random. Like, if you do not act perfectly on these random situations, it's fine. Just test them out. But you could apply the same principle and just rotate. Yeah, you need to make a decision. You cannot stand here in the center. And now you are the front line. Don't want to be the front line. You either take your soldiers front line and say we defend the robot with your soldier. Then you are back here or back here or here. Oh no, here's a soldier already, not here. Up here. Would all be viable. Or you say this is your front line. Then you need to walk up here and then play this corner. But here you did not decide. You run straight to the hawk. You pay for it a little bit. But you survive. That's good. Yeah, again, but this is now a little bit random. So it was like more like a flanking situation, but the entire team was inside your team. So full side brawl. And with full brawl, like both teams go inside and mix, then there is no clear positioning. And then it was a little bit random. But I don't want to go over this topic now because this would be too much now for this video. There are of course again things you can do better or worse. But let's not talk about this topic too much now. Let's sleep. I think this is rather fine. But again, you don't need to be in the center of the road. Like, pick the left side, you can still see the Zarya, and heal here. Or be further back and decide that this is your angle now. Like, because again, you are just in the center. Like, if you want to be so far up close, really be up close here, but then there is no cover anyway. It's just that if the enemy finds you, you don't have options to retreat or go safe. Like, realistically, you would have needed to rotate all the way around to support the soldier on this front line. Again, it's a little bit mixed situation, but you know, just that in the center of the road is most of the times not so good. Like, hug one of the walls is better than nothing. I don't think that we need to continue watch much longer, honestly. I don't expect much surprise here. What's your front line? Where's your frontline teammate? There is none. Like, once people engage in dash and they got you. And you lost your other things that could have been the front line. So instead, again, where's your front line? Well, either your Kiriko is your front line, or your soldier is the front line. Like, pick one of them and be in an angle where you can support the front line and shoot with them. So, maybe be up here. You see, same angle, you can see the same, but you can support your teammates. But down here, well, you're basically alone. Of course, not a clear regroup, so your soldier dies before team starts. Not much you can do. But now you get caught out, so you have nowhere to run. There is just no, because just your entire first position didn't allow you to do anything but die here. So just die on payload. After the death of a soldier, you will not win this team fight, so either die on robot. Yeah, well, it kind of worked out. Good. But again, you are in the center of the road. There is no cover for you left. But that's of course. But this entire situation just played out because you started. You went here aggressive without team, and then you needed to fall back, and then you found a random Zarya, and then you kind of tried to push back, but you were caught in the middle. So, but this entire situation just started because you went somewhere without having a teammate as frontline. And you make yourself a really easy dive target. Maybe it's Winston, maybe it's Junkrat, maybe it's Genji, maybe it's Tracer, but someone will dive you at such situations. So where is your frontline? It's not the Zarya. So you really need to make haste now. Your Zarya is not the frontline. But again, now you see this. You come from spawn, you see this. Try to define where is your team fighting, where is your next cover. And if it's hard to define, that's okay. It can be hard to define, but then at least hug a wall and just use something, you know? But don't be in the center of apparently a cape master everywhere. Just really go anywhere, define anything. Like try to actively find something that you can use as cover where you still see your teammate and the enemies. Like the enemies you want to see. You don't want to see the entire enemy team, but you know, some of them. Like if you see a Lucio, that's fine because he is on distance. He cannot not hurt you. Of course, you don't want to find the Hanzo, like because he can hurt you, and he will. Now Kiriko is effectively your front line, so this position is okay. Kiriko heals over time from herself, that you can ignore. Where's your front line? Here is your front line. So as you see, it changes very fast with some characters. And you just have to rotate with every second. That is good. You place this horizontal ledge as cover, that's good. I like this. But now, don't leave your cover. Why do you extend so much? You can do the same from here. Why do you need to go out here? Like, where are you going? Like, you do not want to play this cover because this is the most frontline cover. You play one cover back from your main team. So like, here would be fine. Here would be fine. If you want to cross it, then do it. Cross it fast and straight. That would be fine. But realistically, now you want to close this angle, go here, close this angle, and shoot at the D.Va with your team. Or help your team, heal the teammates that get hit by D.Va. But you want to close this angle now. But you're standing in the open and you don't have many options to close anything. Because now you shoot in the correct direction, but you're open. For no reason. Like you get shot by Bastion, but why are you even seen by Bastion? Get in cover. You can do the same. But that's a result because you left cover in the first place. And if you run from cover, there needs to be a reason to. Like, I have one of my training topics is called magnetic cover. So when I put it in the top left of my screen, for you left is here, for me left is here, but because it's mirrored, it's just written magnetic cover, and I know, okay, this game I will only focus on magnetic cover, and what it means is I cannot leave walls for long. So if I walk, I need to be stuck to something, like I'm magnetic. And if I want to leave this wall, I go to the fastest place to the next cover, and then I'm stuck to this wall. I'm hugging it. I cannot leave it until I define my next cover. Then I need to define this next cover. Then I can go here. Then I play around this one. I cannot leave it. I cannot be here because this doesn't touch anything. I need to touch cover somehow. But if it's over front, then I define this as my next cover. Then I go here, and I stuck to this cover. So like I pretend I'm magnetic to cover. I'm drawn to it. I cannot leave it. I'm like you are on the center of the road. Like it wouldn't be possible. Like training as magnetic cover.
Secure and ready to move. Pull it together. My ultimate is almost ready.
10 seconds remaining. Approaching the final destination.
Yeah, of course you are late to the party because well you mispositioned before and died for it. So it's just oh. and then you run straight out without any consideration for any cover whatsoever. But in this case, I would also be confused where to go. Because Rosare is up here, so next cover would be here, but D.Va dives inside at some moment when you run forward. Just know that again, you left all cover. So instead of running up here, you could also run up here. It would be close to the same, but at least if someone goes here from the enemy team, they lose sight of you, and that's. But you still see enough enemies, you still see enough teammates to heal, so it's not too bad for you.
Approaching the final
But now,
destination.
try to take cover now. Where do you go? You're the center of everything. Don't shoot the D.Va. Like in this case, I would have healed my teammates. But it kind of worked out. But you still won. GG. Well played. And so, I hope my point with cover is clear now. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any further questions about how to position and why to position and so on, feel free to, well, write it as comment under the YouTube video. Ask me on stream. I can demonstrate it once again. Like, don't be afraid to ask the same thing a second time. It's fine. I will explain it a second time. I will explain it a third time. It doesn't matter. Realistically, you want to train with a training method called deliberate practice. Like, in this case, you have someone that told you what to train. Yeah, you need to train your cover. And now you start a game and you only focus on training your cover. You don't care if you lose, you don't care if your team throws. You only focus that you have some teammate in front of you, and you focus that you have a cover, one cover behind the teammate in front of you, and you stay at this cover until you define the next position that you can go to. You really only focus on this one. You don't care if you miss your anti-nades now. You don't care if you throw your sleep darts into Reinhardt's shields. It doesn't matter for now. Really train your magnetic cover for a while. And while training it, review your own gameplays from time to time, and also send it to a coach from time to time. Like, watch one short team fight every day. Like, pick up a random team fight and see, did you use your magnetic cover correctly, or do you think it's wrong? Like, just look at it. Like, how did you perform the task or not? It's really simple. It's very fast. It takes less than 5 minutes. Maybe it takes 2 minutes or something. Or out of a gaming day, it's not much. Just watch one of your team fights every day, like before you start playing, and just to remind yourself. And also improve your own recognition of the task you want to train. Basically, that's why you rewatch it. And then you train, and then you, after like 7 days of training, you make like a big review, like a real estimate. Like, how are you doing? You redefine your training goals, really. Like, go into more detail. Do you need to adjust the distance? Do you need to adjust to snipers? Do you need to adjust more to more close range flankers, whatever? Or really ask a coach again, like, how to improve further on this topic. Maybe the topic is good enough now for the next level, maybe not. But realistically, you know, this using of cover. Yeah. So sorry. So this was about the training topic. How you want, like, use this deliberate training. Like, really use it as a cycle. Like, do, watch, reevaluate, redefine. Do, watch, reevaluate, redefine, and so on. You do it in a cycle over and over and over again. Like, repeat the cycle daily. I can draw the cycle this way around, then maybe you see it better than this way around. Like, yeah, because this looks up and down from your perspective. Master coach. Yeah, so this is about how you train, basically, how you want to go about this training. So don't wait too long, don't wait a month now, don't go and now overtrain this one topic for half a year and then come back and be the master of this one topic, because maybe you understood one sentence wrong and then you do it wrong anyway. And the thing is, if you train something wrong, it's fine. It's not a wasted time. It's still a training. You trained to be mindful of very position on the map, but maybe you understood something wrong and then this gets corrected and it's getting better. But it's pointless to train for half a year, so don't make it so long. So after a week or something, redefine your own training goals and train something else. Or, you know, after one rank change, like after 7 wins or 20 losses, just redefine your training. Yeah. And about this cover users, this topic is more than beats the eye, I would say. So more than it's obvious. So of course, obviously, your main goal is to hit good anti-nades, hit good shots, heal your teammates. And your position is good position is defined where you can do these tasks that you need to do to win with your character. Hit nades, heal your teammates, damage, poke enemies once, like tag them that they cannot push. Like a hit Clunkred will not push your flank line, your front line. Dranger with half HP will not push. You did not kill him, but you denied his value a little bit. And that's good enough. Hits the Tracer once, she needs to find a health pack. Like, you do not need to kill her, but you get 2, 3, 4 seconds with one shot of free time. And second is, you take less resources. So, which means your second heal has more time to do his thing. Like your Kiriko, if your Kiriko doesn't need to heal you all the time, then she has more time to damage the enemies. Damaged enemies, again, do not shoot back so much. So this is a cascading effect, this taking cover. And it allows you to do more what you need to do longer. Because you get shot on less, which means you have a bigger uptime before you need to heal yourself. Which means you can do more in the same fight. So it's not about just, reducing your incoming damage. It really has a positive effect on everything, on your entire team. If you are just a more stable position in your team, then your team always knows, they can rally around you. Well, but you always rally away from your team, so maybe it's, your team sees, there's my Anna, but then they try to reach you, but then you run back because you want something in front of you. Might be funny to watch, actually. But in general, you're taking less resources. Enemies use more time to hit you. Like if there's a Genji, he wants to find the Anna, but he takes longer to find you. 1, 2, 3 seconds. That's 1 to 3 seconds that he's shooting on your teammates. Like less resources wasted, more resources for your team. And this has a big cascading of effect on everything, this cover. So don't take it lightly. That's really a big topic and can improve a lot. Just keep in mind that positioning in itself is not a function. Like, you can have good positioning in the void. You need good positioning, something that allows you to do something better. Like, hit your nades, as I said. So, first comes, so if you are, because Tracy has received what review before, but if you are a random watcher, you have not received what review before, you first define how do you carry. Like, if you play a Genji, you carry by killing solo enemies or by getting your ult charge, your blade. And like your positioning is somewhere where you get ult charge fast or where you kill something. But that is not a safe position. That's an inherently endangered position because ideally it's a 1 versus 1. Or maybe you have a healer that helps you on the isolated targets. But realistically you should be able to kill a 1-on-1. So that is an endangered position. So the position on Genji is not a safe position. It's a risky position because it's a 1 versus 1. It's maybe a Kree hits you with a nade. Maybe a social snipes you across the entire map. You don't know. You can still die. You need to take risks. Good position doesn't mean you don't take risks. Good position allows you to do what you need to do, but you optimize. Like, you don't need to stand at the center of the road. You can stay at the one side of the cover and still get the same ult charge as Genji. Like, bizarre bubbles can be the other way around. Maybe you run into the open to force enemies to shoot you because you're outside of cover. You look like a tasty bait, but then they shoot you and then you pop your bubble and then they charge your bubble. You can use the opposite maybe. But there is a definition how you carry first, and depending on that comes the definition of how you position. First define how you carry and then how you position for that carry, basically. Yeah. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, like, share, subscribe. Very small channel. Really, every interaction is appreciated and very helpful. If you have further questions, feel free to ask me on stream. I stream on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, usually live on Twitch. Yachikigami. Join me, flame me, ask for what reviews, join our Discord, post your replay codes. I love to watch every single one of the replay codes. I need far more training as coach. I need also far more training as player, but my time is limited. Sadly, I need to work. Why didn't I not get born as a millionaire? Would have been a lot easier. But yeah, thank you for watching. Bye bye. Until next time, love you all. Thank you for watching. You are awesome. It would be pointless without you. See you next time.